gun out, 2 fingers only, put it out of reach.
Politeness.
Can I come down?
No. Ooh, whoa.
That little laugh from her. Like, glad we didn't have to deal with this, right?
We're somewhere here. Exactly where? And your answer better be the same as your wife's.
Slightly more respectful version of the famous interrogation method he uses later on.
You got any advice on the best way west?
Yeah, go east.
That warning and the music creeping in.
I'm fine.
No, but are you? Because just a reminder that you're dead, I'm fucked.
Said I'm fine.
So much going on here. Joel having a panic attack at the idea that the past 3 months looking for Tommy have been for nothing, and now all he has is this girl who he's getting dangerously close to loving like a daughter, and a daughter he feels he's incapable to take care of. Then there's Ellie being worried, not about Joel, but selfishly worried about the fact that she might live alone or die alone, which is natural for a virtually defenseless 14-year-old daughter figure to be. Hearing the Last of Us main theme motif played with their footsteps is weirdly cool just because the main intro theme itself seems to have the sound of footsteps on gravel in it, so it's kind of like Ellie and Joel are recreating that sound here but with snow.
Should have stolen 2 rabbits.
We can get our own rabbits.
You gonna teach me how?
I mean, it's pretty easy.
An old farmhouse, some land, a ranch,
What kind?
sheep.
Joel clearly doesn't only want this, he just wants to be a good father that plays guitar and sings songs, but he obviously wouldn't admit that.
Marlene, she's a lot of things, but she's no fool. If she says they can do it, they can do it.
And that's the worst part.
Wake me up next time.
Yes, sir.
The smile.
Why do they call it dressing? It's like, you should call it undressing. It is, it's like undressing from the inside.
Again, she acts so much like a 14-year-old with the way she questions why things are the way they are, while most adults have just learned to accept things, whether we like it or not. Broken record, I know, but I gotta compliment when a teenager written by 40-year-olds acts like an actual teenager.
Maria is family, actually.
Oh shit. Congrats. Joel, say congrats.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
House of worship, multi-faith, school, laundry.
It's such a breath of fresh air to be in a fully functioning small town, and I think it's an awesome idea to show basically a utopia for Joel and Ellie compared to what they've had to deal with for the past couple decades, then put them in a situation by the end of the episode where Joel is critically wounded and Ellie's basically alone. Literally going from the depressing status quo to the big hopeful town of Jackson, then to the absolute worst situation for the next 2 episodes.
Those things that you judge me for, I did those things to keep us alive.
We did those things, and I don't judge you for it.
This web of complex relationships that's peppered in little by little through the episode. Tommy loves Joel, but he followed Jackson's rules since they were kind, but Joel feels hurt by that, and then there's Maria who judges Joel and feels like Tommy only looked up to Joel, which is why he murdered too.
But I don't know. I feel like I'd be a good dad.
Guess we'll find out.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, just the worst timing to bring up being a father. Oof, that look of what could have been. Sarah probably would have been a mother right now, and Joel would have had grandkids, but he couldn't.
Oh, gross.
Maria already trying to help Ellie out. She could have been an easy character to hate because of her attitude with Joel, but she's really empathetic toward a girl she doesn't know and taking her under her wing.
Well, definitely smart. Would have made a hell of a lawyer.
You know who else is one hell of a lawyer?
Tony's. You know, Tony DeForest.
That's nice.
Of course they play a scene from Goodbye Girl where this man is trying to connect with this girl that he wants to be a father to.
And I have dreams.
What kind of dreams?
I don't know. I can't remember. I just know that when I wake up, I've lost something. I'm failing in my sleep.
What a line. And I think it was improv by Pascal himself, and it shows his understanding of Joel more than anything. I also don't think this makes Joel less of a badass. If anything, it just makes him feel more human.
I'm not her, you know. Maria told me about Sarah and...
No.
The realization because he knows what Ellie means when she says her, because Joel's been thinking about her. Then his facial expression hardening when she actually says her name. Pedro frickin' Pascal.
Come in.
And the subtle expression where she hopes it's Joel, realizes it's Tommy, and her little nod, like, oh, okay, so that's where we're at now. Bella frickin' Ramsey.
Can I borrow that?
Yeah.
Because Maria took mine, you know.
I already said yes, Joel.
You squeeze the trigger like you love it. Gentle, steady, nice and slow.
You gonna shoot this thing or get it pregnant?
We were called contractors.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we were cool. Everybody loved contractors.
Yeah, a little revising of history never hurt anyone.
But if you make it to 10 yards, then you're back to first down?
Yep.
Any chance I could also go horseback riding with Pedro Pascal while he explains football to me? I know, I should know how it works, but I'm uncultured. I know.
Team mascot, it's kind of sheep.
Oh, see? One step closer to your dream.
The little quips from Ellie just keep getting better.
Maybe in all that research they turned into fucking monkeys.
Monkey infected sound terrifying, and I'd love to see it.
Taking a ride with my best friend.
Fun fact, this is showrunner Craig Mason's daughter. The flashbacks are used differently in the show each time. You either get one giant one like Bill and Frank, or a quick one like with Henry and Sam, and now another big one but intercut with the present.
We're cool in the summer, we're warm in the winter, and best of all, when you're an officer, you get to tell the Bethanies of the world exactly where to shove it.
Why do you even care?
I care because no matter what anyone out there says or thinks, we're the only thing holding this all together.
Some brutal honesty with a hint of parental guidance and a dash of the school principal saying, "You've got potential." It also reinforces Fedra being different and not just an easy bad guy to hate.
What the fuck is wrong with you sneaking up on me like that?
It was a joke. In my mind, you loved it.
Of course, the kids who grew up in a post-apocalyptic world would think that grabbing someone like that in their sleep is funny. The Left Behind theme.
You can't fight everything and everyone. You can pick and choose what's important.
I don't know why, but Storm Reed feels like perfect casting for Riley. Even though she looks nothing like the Riley from the game, she just is Riley, you know?
It's great.
Kind of made me swear not to let other people handle my sidearm.
The sidearm, because I'm such a fucking firefly.
Give me your gun.
All right, fine.
Peer pressure, but specifically the best friend kind, because it's slightly more okay. This shot is entirely CG except for Ellie and that railing. Do I need to say more?
You need help? No.
Ramsey and Reed's chemistry is also just perfect.
Standing guard while people shovel shit. That's what they think of me.
Why didn't you tell me any of this?
I don't know.
Better answer than you never asked.
Round one, fight!
Another change from the game that I love, where the machine was originally broken and Ellie had to imagine the fighting, which was such a cool moment in its own right, but this show does it differently and just as good, where it overloads your senses with all the arcade games and stuff and then cruelly brings you back to the reality of how dangerous infected are and how you never know where they could be.
You don't know what it was like to have a family. I mean, I didn't have them for long, but I had them.
She makes a good point. Ellie, before Riley's death, truly doesn't know loss. She's never loved anyone enough to care about their death, but Riley's parents have died. So has Ellie's, but she never knew them, so she didn't actually, lose them. She didn't know what she lost. Young love. And because this is The Last of Us, us can't last. Yeah, that one's bad, but I feel smart about it. Let me have this.
Holy shit! No, 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 no! No!
The performances, the editing, the timing of the music, and the subtlety of it all. Such a smooth yet abrupt transition between two incredibly terrifying moments for Ellie. The way this is the last we see of these two, and we're left to imagine how Ellie had to kill her best friend. And the Left Behind theme in full swing to show Ellie's determination to not leave Joel behind or be left behind herself again.
And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. I've read this passage too many times. But do you remember what comes next? And God will wipe away all tears from their eyes. Do you know what that means? Good.
He asks what comes next, and she seems scared that he'll get mad at her if she doesn't know, but he doesn't, and he continues to comfort her with the rest of the passage. A great way of showing how good David is at being a narcissistic, predatory, manipulative asshole.
Wait, can we bury him?
The ground is too cold to dig. We'll bury your father in the spring.
Wow, when you know about the cannibalism, it just makes this scene so much darker, which, actually, I gotta say, this show excels at having some insane replay value with all the details sprinkled in and the little details that are paid off multiple episodes later, and rewatching the show when you already know everything actually elevates some scenes.
Keep the whole town on rations. Maybe a week, 2 at best.
You know I gotta win Troy Baker, the original Joel, playing a decently important character in the show and not relegated to a quick cameo. And of course he's a great live action actor because acting with performance capture in video games is arguably harder than live action most of the time. That little look of what would Joel do?
Drop your rifles! Now!
You can even tell she's putting on a deeper voice and struggling to hold the rifle, trying her hardest to be intimidating.
It's hard to trust strangers, I know, but I honestly mean you no harm.
The scariest part is that he doesn't, because he thinks the feelings he has for her are harmless, which they most definitely aren't.
And as we wandered, we picked up new people along the way until we ended up here.
He's telling the truth too, which makes his manipulation all the more convincing.
I believe everything happens for a reason. We didn't expect this winter to be so cruel, so I sent 4 of our people to a nearby town to scavenge what they could, and only 3 of them came back. And the one that didn't was a father. He had a daughter just like you. Turns out he was murdered by this crazy man. And get this, that crazy man was traveling with a little girl. You see? Everything happens for a reason.
A really nice slow burn reveal, and it also shows how effective he is at luring you in with a story. I mean, Ellie didn't even realize where the story was going until a second or two later because she was so invested in it. Can't tell what this instrument is. It's definitely stringed like the guitar in Ron Roca the soundtrack usually consists of, but in this situation it reminds me of a toned down church bell, which is very fitting for David and his people.
Joel, where the fuck do I put this?
Scariest thing about having the solution is not knowing how to use it. This really sweet moment that makes Joel calling her baby girl at the end feel like a more natural next step.
You should kill both of them.
Anyone else jump a little when he did this?
I know you think you don't have a father anymore, but the truth is, Hannah, you will always have a father, and you will show him respect when he's speaking.
Not really a badass bad guy, just a bad guy.
If we leave her out here, she'll die.
Yeah, maybe that's God's will.
Ugh, that look. But it's not my will, is it? That could never be me when I played as Joel. A messy, bloody brawl, which makes sense for a Joel this week, and you can feel the fact that if he messes up this chance at a kill, he's dead. Also, Nelson Leese's dead face is horrifying, so props to him.
I don't know any girl. Oh!
Joel's still really weak right now, but just as scary.
And where your resort is, it better be the exact same spot your buddy points to. I'm not lying. Oh! He told you what you wanted!
So cool to see the iconic Joel interrogation again, and killing the guy was honestly a smart choice because the other guy would have seen the blood from the knife on the paper and just pointed there anyway. Plus the first guy assumed Joel would fact check, so he told the truth anyway. The fact that we figured it out with her.
Think of what we could do together. We'd grow, spread out. Imagine the life we could build.
Ugh, this whole scene is tense, but that moment of realization happening for her before she says oh, but then she says oh specifically in a way that makes it sound to David like she feels the same way. Genius acting.
Let's see what I go tell the others now.
Ellie.
What?
Tell them that Ellie is the little girl who broke her fucking finger!
Delivering that line like an animal.
How did you put it? Tiny little pieces?
The difference in acting between Scott Shepherd and Nolan North as David makes me wonder how mind-boggling it would have been if Nolan North played David in live action, especially considering he has one of the friendliest looking faces I've ever seen.
I'm infected, and now so are you.
A+ for cleverness. And bye-bye, Joel.
I've decided you do need a father, so I'm gonna keep you, and I'm gonna teach you.
God, I hate that.
The fighting is the part I like the most.
Those screams are agonizing, and the most that a scream out of fear has hurt me before. She really thought she would go through the unimaginable, and when she gets the opportunity to kill him, she goes crazy on him well after he's dead. There's even that moment where she slows down for a second, then the thought of him catches back up to her and she keeps going, louder and more visceral than before. And the fact that Joel's not there to save her like he does in the game until she's completely done.
It's okay, baby girl. I got you.
Joel finally calling Ellie baby girl like he did for Sarah. The fact that we're opening with the beginning, the day Ellie was born, during the final episode that would have been her end if it wasn't for Joel, and oh my god, it's Ashley Johnson. It's also trippy as hell hearing her in pain the way I usually would in the games, but like that's her actual face. Quick thinking, and the fact that the pocket knife Ellie holds onto is the reason she's alive and the reason she's special.
You fucking tell him, Ellie.
And what better casting for Anna, Ellie's mom, than Johnson herself? I mean, she basically created Ellie along with Neil Druckmann, and she's the reason we're so protective of the character. And now the character she's playing is literally creating Ellie, while on a meta level, the actress is passing down the torch of Ellie to Bella Ramsey. Everything about this birth is poetic.
I cut it before I was bit. Before. Find someone to bring her up and make sure that she's safe.
Marlene can see right through this lie, but she does what Anna asks because she's that loyal. Also, Anna tells her to find someone to keep her safe and doesn't ask Marlene to raise Ellie herself, taking the pressure off because she knows her friend is a leader and she needs to prioritize that. So much history in a couple lines.
Beef Ferroni, Chef Boyardee.
Oh, cool.
The way she's closed off after what happened with David. Distant, but not angry at Joel or anything.
What I'm thinking.
Cut through that building to get around that stuff, find a skyscraper, go up and look around.
Actually, blast our way through that rubble. I found some dynamite in that RV back there.
Really?
No, I had you going, didn't I?
It's nice to see that Joel's kind of back to having the dad thing down. Like the past 8 episodes, it seems like he had forgotten how to be a father, but he only got it down after Ellie went through a really traumatic event. The timing's good and bad.
So fucking cool.
That smile where he's happy her innocence is still there and she can still feel joy, but the smile fading when he realizes he shouldn't have let her be traumatized that badly in the first place.
We don't have to do this.
What do you mean? What else are we supposed to do?
Go back to Tommy's. We forget about the whole damn thing.
After all we've been through, everything I've done, it can't be for nothing.
Another way the Jackson segment was so smart. She left Jackson only to go through the most trying time of her life, so of course she wouldn't want that to be in vain.
And when we're done, we'll go wherever you want. I'll follow you anywhere you go.
Closest she'll probably get to saying I love you.
We had me in one just like this.
With Sarah?
No, she was gone already.
He's also gotten a lot more comfortable mentioning Sarah to her.
It was me. I was the guy who shot and missed. Sarah died, and I couldn't see the point anymore. Simple as that. I couldn't have been more ready. When I went to pull the trigger, I flinched. Anyway, the reason I'm telling you all this
I
is...
know why you're telling me all this. So time heals all wounds, I guess.
It wasn't time that did it.
Wow, does that one sneak up on you. And also a very real thing to talk about, and it makes sense. We finally have every example of the importance of Joel and Ellie's relationship and love in general. Bill and Frank shows why it's worth it, Henry and Sam shows how easy it is to lose it, and Joel's attempt shows how hopeless life feels without it. I think it's why Henry doing what he did shocked Joel so much too, because that's clearly what he could have been.
You know what I'm in the mood for?
What?
Shitty puns.
And the closest he'll get to saying I love you.
He thinks it could be a cure, Joel.
Cordyceps grows inside the brain. Find someone else.
There is no one else.
Yeah, after Anna died, I was wondering if Marlene could just, if you want to get really messed up about it, have someone recreate what happened with Anna. But considering Anna lied to Marlene saying she cut the cord after, she might not have known that her cutting it early is why Ellie's immune. She might just think it was luck. That turn from the dark rendition of the Last of Us theme to the somber All Gone No Escape. The music goes from showing how dangerous and evil Joel is for dooming humanity like this, then kind of mourning for all the lives he could have saved if he let her die. Completely different in the game where it was the same song, All Gone No Escape, but it was as he carried Ellie out.
I won't let you take her.
Unhook her.
Ugh, this was completely unnecessary, all things considered, but Joel doesn't care, even if he should care. Speaking of, look, it's Laura Bailey. I hate that they linger on this shot.
I'm sorry.
The intercutting between these two scenes is so well done in both mediums. Not to mention the fact that this is the second time Joel has been carrying a daughter in front of someone doing what they believe is best for humanity, which means killing said daughter.
Probably about a 5-hour hike. We can manage that, remember?
And payoff. 6 episodes in the making that time.
Do you know why I think she'd like you?
Why?
Because you're funny. I think you would have made her laugh. Anyway, I bet you would have liked her back.
Yeah, bet I would have.
I see this as Joel mostly moving on from Sarah, thinking of what could have been for the last time and accepting her death.
Swear to me that everything you said about the Fireflies is true.
I swear.
Okay.
Absolutely iconic ending, delivered so well and a fitting end to this journey. I think it's pretty clear this show is amazing, and one of the most faithful yet unfaithful game adaptations I've ever seen, but everything they change for the most part are good things. The game gets us to stick with Joel and Ellie the whole way, and it makes his decision by the end seem justified in our eyes. Even if there was more than enough discourse of if Joel was right, we didn't think much of it since we love these two, and we want them alive. But the show gave us more stories about different people who live different lives, and it gives us more time with the world of The Last of Us, and shows us the weight of Joel's decision on a larger scale. All those stories, the random people Joel and Ellie meet, the random people only us audience members meet, they're part of this world that Joel doomed to save someone he loved. I love that the show took a route the game couldn't have really gone just because of how game design is. It's also why they sped up the progression of their story, like the scene where Ellie lays next to a weakened Joel after she gives him penicillin. In the game, she was a bit farther because they're almost there but not there yet, but in the show they are, and it makes sense for the show to move a little faster because of how it's structured. We couldn't have gotten a whole episode devoted to Bill and Frank in the game, but the game was obviously made in a way that it didn't need it. Overall, just a genius way to faithfully adapt a game to TV while changing things up when necessary for the medium. What'd you guys think of The Last of Us Season 1? Let me know in the comments. As always, you guys are an absolute win, and I'll see you soon.